but I want to make another run at making Captain America an official military position.
And if we disagree on how to manage a situation, then what happens?
Work with me, Sam. We'll show the world a better way forward.
Thaddeus Ross had just been elected President of the United States, a moment punctuated by both celebration and apprehension. The jubilation of his supporters contrasted sharply with the critical analyses filling news broadcasts. Pundits dissected his acceptance speech, noting its theme of unity while simultaneously highlighting Ross's history of conflict, particularly his troubled relationship with figures like Captain America. Some questioned whether Ross could truly bridge past animosities to lead effectively in a world teeming with escalating threats. Meanwhile, Captain America, known as Sam Wilson, watched these events unfold in a local establishment, the news coverage serving as a stark backdrop to his quiet drink. The television rehashed Ross's past, labeling him the Hulk Hunter and recalling the devastation in Harlem, incidents for which many unjustly blamed Ross himself, alleging his relentless pursuit of Bruce Banner was the true catalyst. The reports even touched on Ross's strained relationship with his daughter Betty, further complicating the narrative surrounding the newly elected president. In a surprising turn, Captain America found himself leading a mission in Mexico, a covert operation targeting serpent mercenaries. These mercenaries had acquired a mysterious package, its contents classified under presidential order. The mission's objective was clear: secure the package. As Captain America infiltrated the compound, employing Wakandan-engineered gear, he discovered the presence of hostages within the facility. A dilemma arose. The priority was the package, but innocent lives were at stake. During the chaos, Red Wing, Captain America's advanced drone, identified Sidewinder, Serpent's leader, who was unexpectedly present at the scene. Sidewinder was at the church because the buyer who was supposed to meet him with payment never showed up, and Captain America successfully liberated the hostages, delivering them to safety. Meanwhile, Serpent operatives attempted to escape with the canister. Captain America and Red Wing faced a tactical challenge stretched between protecting the rescued civilians and preventing the package from falling into the wrong hands. Ultimately, Captain America confronted Sidewinder, engaging in a physical altercation within the chapel, demonstrating superior combat skills. Despite a fractured arm sustained during the fighting, he secured the package, preventing its escape, while the Navy SEAL team assisted in apprehending the remaining Serpent mercenaries. With the mission accomplished, the team secured the package, beginning its journey back to the United States. Reflecting on the operation, Ross's advisors noted oddities in the handoff, such as its exposed location and the absence of the intended buyer. The nature of Serpent's contracts seemed suspicious, suggesting that the entire transaction might have been orchestrated for alternative motives. The anonymous contract promised a substantial sum for the canister's theft and delivery, yet the lack of a buyer raised questions about the true purpose of the operation, leading them to wonder if Serpent was merely a pawn in a larger game. Back at base, Captain America received a mixed reception. While praised for his success in Mexico, his less than stylish performance and the somewhat worn condition of his gear were noted, albeit jokingly. A lighthearted exchange with Joaquin occurred before Captain America introduced Joaquin to Isaiah Bradley, a forgotten hero who, due to the actions of the U.S. government, spent 30 years in prison and being experimented on. Isaiah's experiences with the government instilled in him a deep-seated mistrust, a sentiment he openly expressed, questioning Captain America's decision to work under the authority of a president like Thaddeus Ross, who embodied the very system that had wronged him. Captain America, mindful of Isaiah's experiences, explained his reasoning, emphasizing the importance of inspiring hope and navigating a complex political landscape. He assured Isaiah that he had an ally within the White House, someone who would alert him should Ross overstep. He then extended an invitation to Isaiah and Joaquin to join him at the White House, a gesture intended to bridge divides and foster understanding. At the White House, Isaiah, Joaquin, and Captain America were greeted with a mixture of fanfare and unease. Despite looking dapper in his suit and joining his comrades at the event, Isaiah felt like he was entering the belly of the beast, having to shake hands and be in the presence of the very people who made his life miserable. Amidst the reception, Captain America was summoned to a private meeting with President Ross, leaving Isaiah and Joaquin to navigate the crowded halls. During their meeting, Ross praised Captain America's role in securing the canister, suggesting this action might reshape his views on enhanced individuals. Ross then proposed the seemingly improbable. He wanted Captain America's help in rebuilding the Avengers, an idea met with skepticism given Ross's past role in dismantling the team through the Sokovia Accords. Ross framed his proposal as a necessity for the nation, acknowledging the Avengers' importance. He also committed to collaborating on challenging decisions. President Ross invited Captain America to attend the treaty and posed for a photo to garner support. After a brief conversation at the event, Ross began to speak, addressing a crowd, unveiling a groundbreaking discovery, adamantium, a substance even more indestructible than vibranium, found on a celestial mass that emerged from the ocean. He proposed that ratification of the treaty would allow for the fair global distribution of this resource. Suddenly, chaos erupted. Isaiah Bradley, seemingly out of control, launched an attack on President Ross. Security forces responded immediately, transforming the White House into a scene of pandemonium. Amidst the confusion, Captain America attempted to de-escalate the situation. He tried to stop Isaiah, but more shooters were present at the scene and the scene devolved into confusion. Captain America and security tried to subdue Isaiah and the other shooters. The identity of the shooters was revealed to be government officials, heightening the intensity of the crisis. Captain America was immediately apprehended by security, although Isaiah, having shot at the president, was the target. Ross, after being escorted to safety, addressed Captain America, expressing his shock and disappointment. However, Captain America insisted on conducting his own investigation, arguing that Isaiah was not in control of his actions and was being influenced but was rebuffed. However, President Ross agreed, deciding to let his security advisor, Ruth, handle the investigation instead. Afterward, Captain America and Isaiah spoke, with Captain America inquiring Isaiah about what had made him shoot the president. All Isaiah could recount was getting a haircut, picking up his suit from the cleaners, and riding in the limo to get a photo with Captain America. Upon further inquiry, Isaiah mentioned his phone being on the fritz. All he could remember was that he was transported to the East Room, where he was sitting. Next thing he knew, he was standing in that park. Captain America, concerned about Isaiah, told him that the events that transpired was not his fault and that they would be figured out, but Isaiah was not convinced. Captain America, still being determined to clear Isaiah of the assassination attempt, contacted Joaquin. Joaquin was able to get into the White House CCTV system, and he confirmed Captain America's theory that something was up with Isaiah's phone, which was flashing at him. In addition, Joaquin noticed the same thing happening with one of the other shooters. Back in his office, Ross received a report that the situation was under control from the warden, confirming the prisoner was secure. On the outside, Captain America had a feeling about what had happened. Captain America thought the chaos at the White House had to do with the fact that the buyer never showed up, and hypothesized that maybe he was waiting for Captain America to arrive. All of a sudden, Serpent attacked Captain America, who managed to handle the situation. Immediately, Captain America called Joaquin and inquired him about the situation of Isaiah, to which Joaquin responded that Isaiah was good. Shortly after this, Joaquin was able to find out that Ross's security advisor, Ruth Bat-Seraph, was born in Israel and trained at the Red Room, making her ex-widow, which translated to Captain America to stay the hell out of her way. Captain America also noticed that in the video, Isaiah had Ross in his crosshairs, meaning it would be a hard shot to miss, adding more mystery to the already strange assassination attempt. After more digging, Joaquin was able to locate where Sidewinder's last caller was, which was at a place in West Virginia called Camp Echo 1, which Joaquin believed to be a camp where people would be sent, never to be seen again. Captain America and Joaquin soon realized that a major threat was soon to arrive. Moments later, they learned that Isaiah's prison has been shot up, which Captain America believes to be a move by the buyer. The pair decided to go to Camp Echo 1, believing that if they stop the buyer, then they will be able to help Isaiah out. With the pair heading for Camp Echo 1, Ruth was on the phone with Ross, where she confirmed that everything was secure with the prisoner. Suddenly, President Ross gets a phone call from a familiar voice who confirmed to be the orchestrator of the assassination attempt. Ruth was revealed to have shot up Isaiah's prison, although she initially did not have plans to do so. She confirmed with President Ross that nobody would put her in solitary again, and that if they guaranteed her protection, she won't cause any more harm. However, the call turned sour when President Ross told Ruth that he didn't trust her, and he was soon to find out why. Suddenly, Captain America and Joaquin are heading down to Camp Echo 1. As they approach the area, Captain America and Joaquin note that there's cameras and guards to watch, although they are not bothered by them. All of a sudden, the pair learn that Ruth Bat-Seraph has been compromised. This is where the pair will face an unknown future in this journey. Will Captain America and Joaquin be able to save the people, or will they fall victim to the buyer? The initial moments after the countdown were chaotic. An intense firefight erupted. The team struggled, facing surprisingly well-equipped resistance within the prison. They exchanged fire, maneuvering through the tight corridors, trying to minimize casualties while securing the area. There were no prisoners, something that puzzled the team. As they ventured deeper into the prison, it became clear that the facility held something far more sinister than inmates. A hidden laboratory was discovered, raising questions about the true nature of the prison and its purpose. The team stumbled upon a series of video recordings. These recordings unveiled a tense diplomatic exchange between an American representative and a Japanese official, identified as Ozaki-san. The discussion revolved around adamantium and a proposed treaty for its global sharing. Accusations of theft and mistrust were exchanged, hinting at a deeper conflict brewing beneath the surface of international relations. The American official assured Ozaki of their commitment to the treaty and sharing adamantium, and expected Japan to share that commitment as well. Ozaki retorted with accusations of America stealing their adamantium, only to return it in Washington, calling the American official naive for not realizing they were being played. The American official claimed he had ordered Captain America to retrieve the sample. Ozaki then stated Japan wanted no part in the game. The recording suggested that the adamantium had become a point of contention, fueling tensions between the two nations. Further investigation into the lab revealed data related to optogenetics. The data appeared to detail a method of manipulating the human subconscious using light flashes, potentially enabling a form of mind control. The team discovered that the song Mr. Blue acted as a trigger in this process. They hypothesized that this mind control technology could explain the behavior of Isaiah, suggesting a larger conspiracy at play. The team made a risky choice to stop Stearns. They decided that the information obtained was far too important, implying that the stakes were higher than they initially thought. As the team delved further, they discovered the identity of the buyer. Samuel Stearns was the culprit who orchestrated the events surrounding the adamantium theft. He hired Serpent to steal the adamantium, and they shot up Ross's summit, announcing the theft. Stearns claimed his mind saw every possible outcome. The team theorized Stearns hired Serpent to instigate the adamantium theft and the disruption at Ross's summit, and questioned his motives for wanting to eliminate Ross. Stearns denied plotting to kill Ross. Despite the history between them, he was imprisoned by Ross without a trial and infused with gamma radiation, which warped his brain structure. Stearns claimed Ross kept him locked up for 16 years, using him to solve problems. Stearns stated he was responsible for the White House. The team demanded Stearns cease his actions, emphasizing the harm inflicted on innocent individuals. including their friend. Stearns questioned the team's loyalty to Ross, arguing that Ross knew he was responsible for the White House attack, but still let Isaiah sit in prison. Stearns asked to be allowed to finish his work. He was refused, and a fight broke out. During the ensuing confrontation, several individuals under Stearns' control seemed to serve as a line of defense. The team neutralized the mind-controlled individuals, making an effort to subdue rather than harm them, as it was not their choice to be fighting. The team managed to disable these individuals, hoping to break Stearns' control. However, these mind-controlled people were only a distraction, and Stearns escaped. As he fled, the team encountered unexpected resistance in the form of another group, which wanted to take them into custody. After subduing the new threat, the team questioned why the new arrivals were there. They stated they were under orders to take Captain America into custody. The team stated one Captain America was already in custody and questioned if another was required. The new group stated the team was under arrest for trespassing on government property. The team attempted to resolve the situation peacefully, but the situation escalated when the mind-controlled trigger song, Mr. Blue, began to play. The team attempted to flee before being overtaken. Meanwhile, the president's advisors informed him of Japan's claim that America had stolen adamantium and were looking for a point of compromise. They urged him to address the situation and stop the international tensions from escalating. They warned him that Japan had advanced their navy on Celestial Island to secure the adamantium for themselves. The advisors suggested that they return to D.C. to regroup and devise a solution. But the president remained steadfast in his current strategy. He argued that they needed to seize the opportunity with Ozaki and requested enough